everyone, Maury here again for another installment of the Book of Sorrows series. This week we are on Act 4 of our 10-part series. Each week, for 10 weeks, we're going to be meeting Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. CST on the Dames of Destiny Twitch channel to work our way through the Book of Sorrows. If you want to catch up on the previous acts, just take a look at some of the past videos on the Dames of Destiny YouTube page. And with that, grab your Titans, have your grimoire books open, and let's get started. So we're going to start off with a bit of a refresher here. Why are we calling the segments of this series acts? Hello everyone, Maury here again for another installment of the Book of Sorrows series. This week we are on Act 4 of our 10-part series. Each week, for 10 weeks, we're going to be meeting Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. CST on the Dames of Destiny Twitch channel to work our way through the Book of Sorrows. If you want to catch up on the previous acts, just take a look at some of the past videos on the Dames of Destiny YouTube page. And with that, grab your Titans, have your grimoire books open, and let's get started. So we're going to start off with a bit of a refresher here. Why are we calling the segments of this series acts instead of parts or sections? Well, this book is a bit fantastical, and it's better understood as a fictional narrative than a straight timeline of events. There are symbols, references, and poetry that make the Book of Sorrows worth reading, and I view the set of grimoire cards more like a Shakespearean play and less of a novel. There's a lot in these cards that they can tell us, but there's certainly a whole lot of assumptions that we have to make, as well as some educated guesses that I feel pretty confident on. Last time, we had a whirlwind tour on the transformation of our three sisters, Arash, Sethona, and Shiru, now called Auryx, Savathun, and Zivu. So why did they choose to change their very natures? Well, remember, their main goal is to kill the traitor Tox and take their father's kingdom back. They had driven Tox off their planet and began a campaign of conquest. The sisters eventually ascended into orbit to fulfill their oath, and they had their very first encounter with the Traveler. We had a really good discussion about gender, so make sure you check out Act 3 and add some comments to that video. This week we're covering parts 15 to 20 in the Book of Sorrows, and we are going to talk about the minions of the sisters. And no, we're not talking about those cute, funny, yellow little minions. These are the Dark Servants. For the last few weeks, we have been referring to them as Proto-Hive, but now they are the Hive. So what's a Hive life cycle? Well, a mother wizard gets fertility from a mate or from herself. And this means that wizards can evolve themselves to become asexual, meaning individual reproduction. From the wizard, there comes the spawn. Given the insect-like styling that Bungie has placed on the hive, we can expect the spawn to be like larvae, hatching from large bunches of eggs and growing. But how do they transform from worms to what we shoot at? Well, my theory is that since the hive worship death, they cocoon themselves in coffins or tombs, kind of like what you see hanging all over the place in the Dreadnought. And once that transformation is complete, they move to the next level in their hierarchy of being. So from the spawn come the thrall. They are the foot soldiers of the hive. The earliest incarnation of them, and they are also the lowest on the totem pole. From the survivors of the thrall come the acolytes, who contend, as it's said in the cards. Now, the phrase contend here means to compete against, so in a sense it's a survival of the fittest to see who moves on to the next level. When thrall become acolytes, they are given a worm, and this probably helps them get to higher levels of thinking. How to use a gun better, more tactical awareness, all that fun stuff. Now, these worms are similar to the ones that are inside our three sisters. Now, if the acolytes contend well and their worm is fed, then from the worm comes the knights and the wizards and the princes. We know that feeding worms is done through killing and the worshipping of death. So this means the more an acolyte kills, the more powerful they become. It is not clear when the threshold is met, but I would venture to guess that to become a wizard or a knight, they have to undergo a very similar transformation process as they did to become an acolyte. Once they become knights and wizards, the process begins again with the creation of new spawn. So given this cycle, the hive would probably grow exponentially. And the cards prove that this is true. They carved out whole moons to breed in, raise their armies, and prepare for the next battle against the travelers' foes. Or forces, sorry. While the Hive are forming, our sisters got a bit frustrated at the resistance of the traveler and the civilizations that she helps. There is a schism between the sisters, where one gets killed, then comes back. It's very unclear how this happens, and next week we're really going to be diving into this. This week, however, the traveler is handed a defeat, and the sisters begin their galactic conquest. So, in the spirit of conquest, our card tonight is Part 19, The Crusaders. It's done. And Yule feed on the Leviathan's carcass. Xivu Arath has made a temple of the Chroma Admiral's impaled corpse. Below us, Savathun poisons the Ammonite home Black Sea. Their screams flavor the void. The traveler has fled. Do you understand, Arx? Do you thrill at the secret, Savathun? Do you relish the edge of this truth, Xivu Arath? Do you see the beautiful shape? The Ammonite occupied a piece of reality. They rented their existence on fraudulent terms, making themselves happy and fat, fencing themselves in soft lies and sweet apocrypha, saying, "We are peaceful and good. We harm nothing." Their golden age was a cancer. They did nothing to advance the cause of life. They burnt up time and matter and thought on this pursuit of safety, insulating themselves from death, making a regressive pocket of useless stability, when they could have helped whittle the universe towards its final perfect form. And your people, suffering in the deep, you became more worthy of existence than the Ammonite. You have proven it. Look around the sky. Behold the great divide, the battle lines of cosmic war. We are the worm your god, but we are not the deep itself. We only move within it. You shall too. You shall venerate and study it and haunt it in its passage. Will you lift your thoughts to the millennia arcs? Will you bend your will to the liberation of the universe and join us in the war against the sky? We need champions, crusaders. Help us save the universe. Help us exterminate that which would destroy all hope. You are oath-bound to this task by the covenant of the worm. And you are oath-bound to kill Tox, wherever she has hidden himself. Wow, Traveler kind of got it handed to him. So what are the consequences, do you all think, of the sisters' reliance on these worms? And now that their power and their armies have grown drastically, what are they going to do next? They had a conquest over their local system. Where are they going to go now? We're going to dive a lot more into these next steps next week. So make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below or in the Twitch chat, and I will see you all next week. Happy reading, Guardians!